Welcome all traders to their daily look ahead. This is where we take a look at gold, the dollar, and the mini NASDAQ to find out what types of trades we can take the following day. But before we dive into the charts, make sure to like and subscribe so that more people can enjoy this content. Hello everyone, let's go ahead and start with gold. So gold did the down move, as we did suspect that it could have that possibility. So we broke, we retested almost where we predicted it would retest, and then we went short down into the green zone, and there it lies right there in the green zone. So the question is, what happens to gold next? For that, we go out to the 4-hour time zone. So here we see the support level we're headed to. So here's the green zone. But let's look at the support level. So this is what we would expect gold to do. So gold comes down to, say, right about 2846. And we would see a pullback there. And we would look for that pullback to fail. Okay, now I'm not sure where the pullback would go to, but maybe here at 2871, maybe a little higher at 2863, somewhere in there. We're looking for gold to pull back and then a continuation down to 2819. Possibly, I don't know if it gets there tomorrow. I don't think it gets there tomorrow, but 2783 next week. But possibly tomorrow we get back down to 2818. That would be after a pullback. Okay, so we would have that pullback first and then that continuation down. So be careful if you're trying to go short and it's pulling back, you're gonna get hurt. So wait for the pullback to complete, then get involved if you're going for it to the downside. If you want to do it for a contrarian move, then you would go ahead and trade the pullback to the upside. Next is dollar. So let's see how dollar played out. So dollar has pretty much gone the direction we thought. It pushed out. It came back. It didn't go all the way up to this resistance zone. It pulled back a little bit here and then pushed out. And it didn't hold at the zone. It just sliced through. And now it's up at this resistance zone. It did pull back a little bit there. But dollar is rising fast. So where do we see dollar going to next? So as we go out to the 4-hour chart, we see that this resistant line, this channel, has been broken. Once it broke, it took off like crazy. So what we would expect to happen here is we're starting to see some weakness in the candles, okay? But what we would expect to have happen here is, again, a pullback. So we're at this really big resistance zone. We could pull back a little bit, might not be much, might be right down here to about 106.98. And then a continuation, might get trapped in there a little bit, continuation up to eventually, and I'm not sure if it gets there tomorrow, but 107.97. So that's where we're looking for dollar to go after we have somewhat of a small pullback and then a continuation to the upside. So again, like with gold, don't get caught in the pullback if you're going long, but if you want to trade contrarian, you look for a reversal here or a pullback to go down to about that level 106.95, might go a little lower, and then for a reversal and continue the move up to about 107.93. On M&Q, today we saw it start to break out, but then it fell and started to break back into this wedge. Now, when you have something like that happen, what it's telling you is that it's very, very bearish. Okay, so right here you have a big, let's blow this up here so you can see it. You have a big dark candle. You have this white, then a very small inside candle. And once you have something like that, then you have this large candle. That's telling you it's going to continue to head down. Now, I was able to catch this trade right up in here and take it all the way down. So very good day for me. But what you would do in something like this, when you see a big candle like that, and let's go down to the 5-minute, and you don't get into the move up top. So we're going to go to the 5-minute, okay, way back here. So you see this outside candle, that's where you're going to want to get in. But say you miss that move, what you're going to do is watch for this retest. A failure of that retest, it starts to go down. Right here is where you catch the trade. Okay, it's not as good as up here where you have an outside candle and you can catch it right there as it starts to head down, but it's good enough. Okay, and that was a really good trade there for a day trade. So that has moved down. Now let's go ahead and get back on the 15. So you see the 15. Okay, here it is. And that's the candle we were talking about. Okay, so it keened down, reached a point, ranged, keened down, and it hit our target. Now this is our target, was a little bit above that, around 97.92, but it hit our target. It sliced through it, and now it's gradually coming back up, and I expect a continuation in downside. So how is that going to play out? Let's go ahead and take a look at the longer term chart. Okay, this is the 4-hour chart. Now let's see where we're at in the trade. So here's the channel we broke right here. Oops, grabbed it. Didn't mean to do that. And we broke it. Let me adjust it back down where it was. And we retested it and we fell over. Okay, now here's the next channel. This is the low. This is the low. We've broken that. So what do we expect to do here? Well, we expect to have a retest. Okay, so we come and zero in on this. We expect some sort of a retest. And we're going to see if the retest fails. We don't know if it's going to fail, but we're going to see if it does or not. So it's going to push up. And at some point, we want to see that, you know, it may range there for a while. And then we want to see it break, okay? And that's what we want to see for a continuation. If this is going to continue to the downside, that's what we need to see, okay? I believe it's going to, but there is that possibility that it really pushes off and it creates a new high tomorrow. So if we come out here on the daily, if it really pushes off and gets strong, we could see a high tomorrow here or up into here. That would dictate a reversal in this back to the upside. And I do believe it's going to reverse the upside. I just don't know if this is the time it's going to do it, if it's going to pull down lower. So let's look at some spots, if it does break, where it could pull to, if it does decide to continue to the downside. Looking at the daily, these are the spots. So we have our first really big one if we break here at 24.18. The next one is hanging out at 19.894. And the next one after that, which I seriously doubt we get to tomorrow, is around 19.230. But the first two are a possibility, okay? So if we do head to the downside, we would look for, as we go back into the 4-hour chart, we would look for something like down to here, okay? And then we could possibly look for a bounce there before we break and come down to there if it's going to do that tomorrow, okay? So that's where a very long full extension would take place. The upside, well, it would be just the opposite. So you would have an upside move that would break back into this channel. Whoops, didn't want to do that. Let me grab this again and try it again. We would have an upside move that would break into the channel, retest it, and then come out like this. Probably end up here or possibly up in here tomorrow if it goes long. Okay, so that's the outlook for M&Q. Hope this helps. Again, if you want to really learn how to do this for a living and enjoy doing it, go ahead and click the link in the description of this video, and we'll see you inside for that 7-day trial. Take care. I hope this helps and you have a good weekend.